Okay, so these notes we've actually already asked him about. We can ask him about what he knows about Ravel. I guess that would be a good place to start. Oh, well, she's a night hag, and she was definitely barmy enough to make you immortal, of all people. I mean, she could have chosen me. Mort rolls his eyes. Still, if anyone addled enough to lock blades with the Lady of Pains, it's someone we really want to find. Okay. You can ask how he died. I think I've asked that before. Or we can ask him for advice. Let's see. Well, here's how I see things. Well, Ravel got mazed. Still, there's probably some key and some portal that could take us there if you still want to go. Do you know where I can find... Do you know what the key to her maze could be? Well, we know it's a piece of Ravel. Do you know where I could find a portal to her maze? Beats me, Chief. There's tons of portals in Sigil. I say try the Fest Hall. I doubt it's there, but one of the sensory stones might be able to tell us something. Say we forget all this running around and get someone to make us a portal. Okay. I say you're a mimmer. I can't remember if we asked him this before or not. Yeah, Mimmer is a floating encyclopedia. You put information in, you get information out. That's helpful. How did you die? No idea, Chief. I kind of forgot when I died. Can't say I blame myself much. At least there was something waiting for me when I died. Even if his life is a floating skull, I mean, I could have been worse. What happened to your body? Oh, I don't know. It's just gone. Mort glares at you. Don't think I miss it, because I'm happy just the way I am, and I don't need your half-wit judgments or snide remarks. Okay. Shake a leg. I'm not convinced you aren't some sort of walking curse that's destined to follow me around. Okay. What about Dakon? Come on. Still had the dialogue indicator. Should have been able to... Honestly?
Endure.
So what now?
In enduring, grow strong. What is your will?
Dakon turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. His blade mirrors his eyes for a moment as you address him. Then he nods. What is your will, Dakon? There are things I would know. I'm not sure if we've asked him this before. I can redirect one toward the craft of war, but I cannot advance their skill. My weapons are not of steel, but of will and knowing of the South. I think we're already the fighter profession. Thought we were anyway. Yeah, I remember asking him about all that stuff, so I think actually I'm going to talk to Fall from Grace, because I know I haven't talked to her yet, since she just joined us. And I don't understand whether I'm supposed to right-click
Yes?
or left-click, and I swear, it just changes it up on me sometimes. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. That's nowhere near far from the truth. In addition to whatever the game, it may or may not be trying to pull on me. Not that it has that sort. Well, whatever. We're talking to her, so let's not get sidetracked. Can you tell me what how did you come by the name Fall from Grace? The meaning of names is a complicated subject. There is much to be said, and a great deal that is better left unsaid. Is Fall from Grace your real name? Perhaps. Perhaps not. There are names which are given and names which are earned. Who is to say which is the real one? I don't have a name, so I'm not sure, but I think the name that is earned carries greater weight. I think what somebody without a name or not knowing the name they were given would I think that's how they would think. That may be so. Why do you think that? Because a name that is earned is not arbitrary. A name that is earned tells what you've accomplished. Sorry, yawning ensues. Grace nods. Your point is well taken. So why are you called Fall from Grace? Why would it matter? It is an earned name. Well, yeah, it's an interesting earned name. I have fallen from many people. I have fallen from my people. Some would say risen from my people, perhaps, but fall feels more right to me. She looks at you questioningly. Does that make sense? Yes, fall carries with it an underlying sense of loss. Fall from Grace is silent for a moment, then nods thoughtfully. Yes, perhaps that is why it feels as it did. I came to terms with the loss long ago, but the name has remained. Are you sure you've come to terms with it? Oh. Fall from Grace meets your gaze, and you are once again struck by the brilliant shade blue of her eyes. It is turbulent, like the ocean before a storm. I had not thought so. Yet, in speaking to you, you have caused me to realize some things. She smiles. You have my thanks. Well, if you want to talk about it, let me know. You are most kind. I will do so.
Yes?
Some questions about our travels. Can I read your diary? Wow. We're interested in why did she set up the brothel? I established the brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than simply the carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation and engaging in the verbal arts with others. Why did you establish? Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I am a member of... I think I've already asked her that before she even joined, actually. Sounds like a answer I've already heard. Well, we don't have the option of asking her about a piece of Ravel. This is kind of weird, but can I read your diary? No. Yeah, I'm not going to pursue that because I think that's pretty kind of messed up and rude that you would even ask to read it. Can you tell me about the sites? I think. Do you ever use weapons? No, there is seldom the need, and I find that I cannot bear the touch of cold iron or even steel for long periods of time. In any event, I have a number of natural defense that tend to discourage attackers.
Updated my journal.
The kiss of a succubus is lethal to mortals, though they rarely realize the danger until their death is almost upon them. I cannot resort to it when the need arises. I can resort to it when the need arises.
Yes?
Talk about our companions. Who in particular did you wish to discuss? How about Mort? Mort is most peculiar. I have seen a great deal in my life, but nothing quite like him. He behaves somewhat like a mimir. Granted, there's no denying he is knowledgeable, but he has a certain... She sniffs the air and wrinkles her nose. Praetorian smell about him. Praetorian smell? Yes, but he's not a Batezu. at least of any variety I've encountered. The smell alone, however, makes me treat the skull with caution. What do you mean when you say Batazu and Batorian? My apologies. Bator is one of the outer planes, the home of a race of fiends called the Batazu. They are evil creatures, yet they are organized and lawful in many of their behaviors. Some might call them devils. They believe in contracts and hierarchy. In many ways, they are like evil bureaucrats. What were you saying about a Batorian smell? Yes, but he's not a Batazu, at least of any variety I've encountered. The smell alone, however, makes me treat the skull with caution.
Yes?
Ask about, Anna. She is strong and capable, and she is quite passionate. I almost wish I had met her long ago and asked her to come to the brothel. Perhaps things might have been different. What do you think of her? I think I could fall in love with her. Not quite. I consider her a friend. Very well. Dakon. Dakon? Grace raises an eyebrow. He's most uncommon for a Githzerai. Really? In what way? Well, he obeys you. That alone would mark him as a pariah among his people. His entire race were once slaves, and even the reminder of servitude to them is distasteful. Dakon approaches everything in an orderly fashion. Again, most curious for a Githzerai. They tend to be unpredictable. They follow their impulses rather than plan. Anything else? He seems a most pious Githzerai and a steadfast ally. That he is. I wanted to ask someone else. Let's talk about me. I'd like to know your thoughts on my situation. Do you know anything else that might prove helpful? Shadows keep coming to kill me. I think there's someone out to murder me, so much so I built a tomb trap. Try and kill them. Yeah. Then whoever the killer is, he's lived a very long time to have pursued you so long. She taps her chin for a moment. Could the killer be immortal as well? Maybe. I actually thought the killer may have been... This is just my theory, but I think the killer might be an earlier incarnation, I guess, of the Nameless One that somehow survived. I'm not sure if that's right or if that makes sense, but just from the fact that people have said, like that, said that old woman in this area where we got that note from. Well, anyway, I don't know. It's not a fully developed hypothesis. Do you know anything else that might prove helpful? These are the same. Wait a minute. Might be immortal, possibly. Oh yeah, I guess. Shadows are coming to kill me. I have a feeling they're following me, but I don't know why. Shadows? Fall from Grace is silent for a moment. Shadows are shades of the dead. They do not tend to hunt. They tend to lie in wait for victims. Curious. Other question.
Yes?
So that's really it. I think the rest of that stuff we kind of know about from... Oh, I haven't talked to Anna yet. Anna just looks at you as you address her and she frowns. What do you want now? Are you alright? She's kind of in a bad mood. Yeah. Anna just glares at you. I think it's maybe because she's here. Why don't you ask the stuck-up? Yeah, that's the reason. Anna's eyes narrowed to slits. Why are we even traveling with her? You don't need her, you know. Kind of like to say the first one, but I think this one's gonna be more nice, polite to her. Oh, I didn't waste that then. This should be rich, it should. You pity me, is that it? You think I slow you down? Go on, say it. Don't pity you and you don't slow me down. You're quick, you're skilled, and I really need all the help I can get. Anna frowns, her tail flicking back and forth. Well, no, I'll gut her if she starts sizing us up for a feast, I will. She glares at you. And don't get any ideas I'm staying because you want me to. I'm just helping you out, I am. Do you know where I could find a piece of Ravel? A piece of that hag? No, I don't know where you'd find such a thing. Anna thinks for a moment, her tail waving slowly back and forth. Then she smirks. Of course, she's probably left enough of her seed scattered around the plains that you might be able to ask one of them.